Or maybe we're live already. And we're live now. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday. We usually do these lives Wednesday, but coming to you Thursday after the long weekend. So thanks for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about social media strategies. This is going to be a quick call where we give you, our insights, our lessons, our mistakes that we've made. And we really want to talk about how you guys can blow your business up with social media, how you can start to manage with all these different platforms going on. We're going to tell you what we love and the ones that, are really taking off these days, and then kind of go over some extra little bits. And we even think we were chatting because there's so much to cover. We want to do a part 2 on social media strategies because so many of you lovely ladies are growing businesses and using social media and can feel overwhelmed. So we feel like this is going to grant a part 2. So this is part 1 of social media strategies with the Ambition Babes.
I love it. So first things first, for anyone who's watching or if you're on a replay, let us know right now, are you using social media for personal, business, or both?
Mm-hmm.
Carly and I use them for both. We both have our own personal Facebooks, our own personal Instagrams, our own personal XYZ. But then we also run social media, use this as our business platform. So let us know. I want to be able to get a bit of a gauge from the gals that are in here if you are really utilizing social media from a business perspective. Mm-hmm. And kind of nice to hear from you guys too in terms of any struggles that you've had in leveraging, Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever it might be to really get your business up and running. What's kind of things that have come up for you where it's like, oh, this is hard, or I don't really know this very well, or this is where I'm really falling short? Because Carly and I have both been in the online space for 3 years. We both still run our own affiliate and digital marketing businesses. And then second to that, we have Ambition Babes. So we are deeply in the online space. We have a ton of training online. It's an area that we flourish, and we love being able to leverage social media because at your fingertips or these tips, you can access people from around the world, which is incredible. So you're not just, marketing, say, to your friends and family in the city that you live in, where it's like, well, I've only got 10 friends in Kelowna, and how am I going to make my business work? And I don't know how to take that into the online space. That can be a really big thing. So you can tap into a bigger audience, because that's what social media is going to bring you. No matter what, and whatever business you have, social media is going to bring you a bigger audience. We still want that audience to be a niche. We can't serve everyone, but we can serve that piece of the pie. Like Facebook alone has over 2 billion users. That's incredible. That's an incredible amount of people that you can reach and connect with. So we just really want to highlight the different things that you can leverage within those platforms, that if you are a business wanting to use social media to follow along with these strategies so you can really start to implement. Again, we're all about those small shifts that start to bring change about, instead of like, you've got to do this and get a branding manager and build a whole new website and just getting everything on the go, which can feel overwhelming. It's kind of like, where do I even start? So we want to make sure that we serve you best as well in terms of the information that we can serve, because we can serve at an expert level and we can also serve at a beginner level because we've served at all capacities. So just hearing from you babes too, what do you think is kind of your main struggles? Are you using social media for a business? What platforms are you using? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Are you running any paid marketing? That's another one. Are you doing everything organic and just trying to naturally grow your reach and your audience? Or are you putting any money behind what you're marketing? So there's a lot of different ways that we can talk about our different strategies, but just for Carly and I and our own just kind of general research from anyone like following along and watching, it's just nice for us to serve our audience the best. So if you do have feedback or you do have that, if you're watching live or on a replay, comment so we can see that for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, we here at Ambition Babes operate from the 4 quadrants of greatness, which are health, mindset, relationships, and business. So this Go Live is really talking about, that business quadrant, because for if those of you that are wanting to gain confidence in your business, a great way to do that is to connect with others on social media and learn from them and get into different groups. And there's so much free content for you guys to get access to. And you also have so many gifts to be able to give, and therefore, fuel that for other people. And so when it comes to social media, a lot of people are hesitant because they feel icky about promoting anything, promoting their business, growing their brand on social media, because they're worried that people are going to think, oh, everyone's just trying to sell to me. Oh, they're scamming, spammy people, right? But the reality is we want to teach you guys how to connect deeper with the people and the audience that you're working with, rather than just sell to them. So commonly we see people, typically who are, in MLM groups, have different products or maybe their own product that they have themselves, and they're just constantly pushing, the newest sale and the newest product. And while those are all exciting, especially for you, because you're like, this is a wicked sale, I want to talk about it. There's a way in which you can share your story and why you love your products and your company and the values and the people that you connect with. And you're able to sell in a different way. You're almost empowering people to see what they want in their life. And if that aligns with what you're offering, then they're going to come to you. Very, like Ali and I, with the different products and companies that we work with, we never say like, hey, everyone come join me. Like, it's very different. People come to us because of the way that we've learned to market. And so it's really important that if anyone is watching and you're feeling icky about the way that you're posting, or maybe people are like, judging you and being rude, which honestly, it's none of their friggin' business. You do you, and you do whatever you feel confident doing. But if you're feeling like, ugh, I just don't like using social media, I hate having to message people, I hate having to do this, there's other ways that you can do it while still feeling confident, because that's really what we're all about here, is helping you guys be confident in those different areas of your life and being a leader. And you can be a leader in your business and being a leader on social media. And it's so important that we use social media, again, not to sell, but to connect. Because as soon as you connect to those ideal people, that ideal customer, you've got them, and you've got them in a way that feels good, because they are getting something, you are getting something. It's a win-win, because you're offering value. You're not just always offering up your sales and your products and how they can make money too if they join you. All those things are important, but it's the way in which you convey that. And a big part of what we teach is, really connecting in and telling your story. So if you want to tell some about an amazing product that you have, tell them why you love it, how it's transformed your life, not how it's going to transform their life, how it has transformed your life. People read into those types of stories, and social media is key for getting that out. And again, as Ali said, you can do that organically and connect with people all over the world, but you can also do paid advertising, which we will get into that maybe another day, but there's so many opportunities with paid advertising that you can get your story, your message, your products and services, and your brand out to the entire globe. It's incredible.
Cool. And I love that you touched on that, Carly, just about like how we sell, because no matter what, if you're here and you have a business, you're selling. And lots of times there's just this icky feeling around sales, right? We feel like, oh, I don't really like talking about sales, or I don't like being sold. We're being sold to every day, all day long, whether you know what's happening or not. Sales is an intrinsic part of all of our lives, whether it's the marketing on TV or your best friend telling you about these sweet new products she got. This is for hangovers, you guys. I'm pumped. Blowfish for hangovers. Okay, I could tell you all about this product right now. I had it a couple weeks ago. I had girlfriends in town. It was a bachelorette. It's these little tabs. They dissolve, and it gives you acetaminophen. It's like aspirin and caffeine and like electrolytes. I felt amazing. She didn't even know she was selling me. She just told me about it, told me how it made her feel. I was like, this was so great. Like, we had like a big party weekend, and I got these, and I'm like, sick, my birthday's coming up. Like, I'm getting these too. And I went and bought them. She told me a story. She didn't come at me like, oh my God, Ali, you've got to buy these, and it's going to make you feel amazing. And then you're going to da-da-da-da. Like, I'd be like, oh, get away. Like, so just know that every day you're being sold or you're selling. Mm-hmm. So it's taking away that feeling or that association of like, it's selling appropriately too. Like, I don't just cold message Carly and I'm like, hey, so there's this weight loss product. It's so amazing. And you can drop 30 pounds this month. I've gotten those messages. I'm like, first of all, hi, how are you? I'm a human. You can't just come at me cold with like a big sell. That doesn't feel good. You haven't even spent a moment of time to get to know me. Secondly, I don't need a weight loss product. If you knew me at all, you'd know that I go to the gym every day and I eat really well, and that's not what I'm looking for. So instead of just coming at someone straight up with an offer, if you take the time to nurture that, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Get to know them. Get them to know you. You build a relationship with someone before you try and come in with the sale. And more often than not, people they watch you. They watch what you're up to. Oh, Allie's been using that shake and Allie's looking fantastic. Like, damn, that's working. Like, look at her go. Okay, and you know what? She seems so happy and she's pumped on life and she's just doing her thing. Then that person's more likely to reach out to me versus me reach out to them. So these are just ways to approach your business in a way that it doesn't have to feel so salesy, but comes from a much more authentic and genuine place when you're truly attracting your dream clients, people that you want to work with, people that you want to build a team with, people that you want to do business with. It shouldn't be everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Know that right now, you should not want to work with everyone. Though you may want to in your heart, you might want to serve everyone. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not possible. When we try to cast a big, wide net on everyone, we just end up scooping through air and like there's just nothing coming through. Mm-hmm. I would rather work in a small pond, lots of fish. They're all my fish. And when I come through with my net, I'm catching. That's much better than just going into the open ocean and just seeing what comes through. And you get one and you're like, oh my God, I caught one fish. Go to the small lake and fish there. You're gonna catch 20 fish. Yeah. That is all about your audience size. So we often think on social media that we need all these followers, that it's like, oh, I can't be successful until I've got 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, or Sally's got 30,000 and I've only got 3,000, so I suck. Your audience size doesn't matter. It's a huge component with your business. If you have one set of eyes on you, you have someone to serve. Mm-hmm. So it is not about the numbers. It is about quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. It's not about how many people liked your post. Oh, I posted today and only 5 people liked it. That must be a terrible post. People don't have to like, comment, or engage with your post to have been impacted by it and to have seen it. Mm-hmm. I can scroll my feed and come across Carly's post and go, oh, that was really nice. And I can just keep on scrolling. Sometimes I don't like all of Carly's things or all of people's things. That doesn't mean that I didn't see it, that I didn't get value from it. Mm-hmm. So if we always measure our success based off numbers or engagement, we're not really getting to the true test of our business. So if you just have to show up, find your niche, and then serve them and bring them value first, mm-hmm. you're going to be successful long term. Because when you're leveraging social media for a business, this platform is not about quick bucks. If you're here for a get rich quick, I want to make money now, I want to be balling in 30 days, you're barking up the wrong tree. Because people aren't coming onto their social media feeds to be sold. Mm-hmm. I don't log into Facebook and go, whoa, who's going to sell me today? Absolutely not. I'm not on my Instagram feed to be sold. We're there for user experience. We want value and we want connection and we want community. I want to laugh. I want to be entertained, or I want to learn something. I want value. Mm-hmm. If you think I'm coming onto Facebook I'm seeking out your product, I'm not. But in the back perspective of it, maybe I sought out your story. Maybe you were really compelling, or you shared this or that, and I was like, God, I love following Carly's stuff. She's so good. She's so honest and real and compassionate. I love learning about the family, the kids, her business. I just can't help but follow her life. Like anyone that you guys might follow on social media, you just can't help but follow their life. And if you think of your favorite person on Instagram, say, or on Facebook, say Carly was your favorite person to follow on Instagram, and it went from my life, my kids, doing my thing. And then it was guys, so I've got this sick product. You guys have got to try this product. And the product is amazing. And you're going to lose weight and it's so good. And I guarantee you're going to be If you talked about that product maybe every once in a while as just something that was in our day, I bet you'd hear it in a different perspective.
Yeah.
People aren't coming onto social media to be sold. So if your business is on social media, know that you've got to direct your messaging in a different perspective to bring value first, create connection first. Know, like, trust, buy.
Mm-hmm. And when you're making posts, like say if you were in healthcare and health and wellness, and you had some sort of shake or something, and we're not pinpointing anyone, by the way, these are just examples. But if you can also educate them, like Ali said, you want to be educated, you want to learn something, you want to be entertained. So maybe it's a funny meme about COVID weight. I've seen some really funny ones. And so maybe that's just something that you share. And you don't even do and you should try my shakes. It's just something to get people to laugh. So then tomorrow they go back to your page. And then maybe that's a day where you share a healthy recipe, right? Again, not sharing about your product, but just encouraging you're in the health and wellness sphere. How can you keep engaging those types of people that you're looking to attract? Right? So you're always looking to, again, add value and connect with them, and to get them to engage. You can ask them questions and call for a comment of some kind, like, what's your favorite recipe, or what time of the day do you like to work out? When you're asking your questions to the audience and you're asking them to share or different things, that's showing them that you care. You want to know from them. You want to engage with them. And it's also going to help your algorithm, which basically an algorithm is something, for those of you that don't know, with Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, that if you have a good hot algorithm, that means that Facebook or Instagram, they're showing your content more. And they're doing that because the audience is showing that they're liking the content. So then Facebook will keep pumping your stuff out more than the other people that don't have a good algorithm. So I see people that get, 50 to 200 comments or likes, and they're just sharing things that they know that their audience loves, whereas someone else isn't engaging with their audience. Maybe they made an okay post, but you can't expect to just do that every once in a while. Like, it has to be consistent, and you're always working and connecting with your audience. So that's a really great point, Ali, about just adding value first. So getting into some platforms that we love. So there's obviously a bazillion different platforms. We just tried LinkedIn. It's not really our style, not really working for us, but a lot of people are having great success with it. Pinterest is another one that is apparently, starting to blow up. Again, it takes a lot of work for us. So we prioritize what we like, because at the end of the day, if you like, pictures and you're very visual, then maybe Instagram is going to be your thing. If you like more blog and that kind of a thing, maybe sharing those types of content on a website and then sharing it into Facebook is more your thing. If you're more businessy, then maybe LinkedIn would be better. If you like short form video, TikTok. I love TikTok, and so that's a really fun one, exploding right now. If you like longer form video, then maybe YouTube would be better. So it really depends on your niche. If you're doing cooking videos, then Facebook would be amazing, and YouTube would be amazing. And you can use the same content, repurposing it. We're going to talk about that, how you can, basically be on 2 different platforms or 3 or 4 and use much of the same content. So at the end of the day, you have to go with who you are, what you like to consume, what you think your customers like to consume, what exactly you're even talking about, the content that you're producing. And then finding out ways in which you can be, really effective in managing that. And again, we'll give you some tips on that. But for starters, the biggest platform of them all is absolutely Facebook. Facebook has the most users, most active users. Right now, they're seeing a little bit of a downturn because of world events. People are kind of annoyed with the drama, so they're less active on Facebook. But at the end of the day, they have a massive viewing. They have a massive advertising platform, so many opportunities on Facebook. Literally every generation is on Facebook, no matter what age you're targeting. If you have a product or service for them, you're going to be able to reach them. Our grandmas are now on Facebook, kind of thing. So you can reach anybody. So that's a really great thing. Facebook groups specifically, like this group right here, is really, really powerful, because Facebook is basically favoring groups. So they are giving people that post content in groups a better algorithm. So they're pushing out the content more in groups. So if you were to post the exact same thing on your page versus a group, you're going to get most likely more action in the group. Facebook's going to push it out to more people. So if you don't have a group and you've got an idea for that, or you've got an existing business, maybe consider starting a group and nurturing it and getting that rolling. And again, it's not something you want to sell to people all the time. We always add value into our groups first. And if we ever have anything that we know can add value to their life in terms of a product or service that we have, of course we're going to share it, but it's very rare. Like, we do not push a lot of stuff in our groups. And it's a place for people to connect, that audience that you're looking for, right? And so Facebook groups is huge. If you have a business and you don't yet have a business page, highly recommend that as well, because that's the only way you can do paid advertisements. You have to have a business page. And for Facebook, they don't like you promoting your business on your personal. You can actually risk getting shut down. You may not have that experience yet, but it's not to say that Facebook can't come down with the hammer and actually ban you, which happens. So I'd highly recommend getting a Facebook group, Facebook page, business page, and starting to create content on that. And again, there's a lot that goes into, if you're wanting to do paid advertisements, we would absolutely recommend looking into training. Both Ali and I are aligned with an educational platform that teaches that, because again, if you don't do it properly, you can get shut down. So a lot of things to be aware when you're working with these platforms, you don't own them. Right? You're working with them and leveraging them, but at the end of the day, you don't own them. Yeah. So really important. So I'll let you cover some of the other social media platforms, Ali, but Facebook is definitely a go-to and a great place to start for any business.
The biggest thing is when you are, like Carly said, leveraging someone else's platform, is you got to play by their rules. Mm-hmm. We don't get to roll into Facebook and be like, I'm just going to post all these things and whatever, and do whatever I want, and I'm going to run paid ads that are completely not compliant. Facebook has an entire ads policy section. They call it the Facebook Blueprint. It's all their different courses to understand how to market effectively on Facebook. There's a lot of different parameters for Facebook. Because again, at the end of the day, they will shut anyone down if you are not creating a positive user experience. You don't want to play by our rules, you don't get to access all of our users. That's clear. So knowing who you're playing with is important, and they own Instagram. It's the same thing. So the one amazing thing about Facebook is there's a share button. You can share like anyone's content. So if someone sees your page and they're like, oh, that was such a good post or such a good whatever, they can click share and it goes now onto their feed, and say they've got 1,000 friends. That's 1,000 eyes that went on your marketing material that you didn't have to pay for or do anything for. That's beautiful organic marketing that isn't on a lot of other platforms, the share option. So know that we have a preference for Facebook, and we have a preference for Instagram. Third to that, we're just starting into YouTube because we do a lot of video. So we want to be able to leverage YouTube because it has such great SEO and searchability, and Google owns YouTube. So when you go on Google and you type something in like, what's the best training platform for social media? They're going to come up with websites, and they're also going to come up with video. Right away, there'll be a video search option at the top, because they're going to find you those videos in an article form and in a video form on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So Google has great searchability, but because they own YouTube, they're paired really well together. So leveraging YouTube is also amazing if you do have video content or just start making videos, because anyone that goes to Google, then their AdWords search can also then bring over to your YouTube video. So just knowing the different platforms, like Carly said, we have LinkedIn. I have tried my hardest. And I cannot, for the life of me, figure out LinkedIn. Like, it's beaten me against the wall. And it's to the point where I'm like, is this worth my time?
Yeah.
No, it's not. So if the energy output going into something is like, I'm not getting the value here, then I'm going to shift my energy into Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where things are working. And, if a time comes that LinkedIn, I want to give her another go. We have a platform. We have our profile. It exists. However, the time and energy is not going there because it's just draining me. And think about also as a user, what do you consume the most? Because your avatar, that's your niche, your person, your audience, they're likely to consume what you consume because they're going to be just like you. You're building a business, you want to attract a client that's likely very similar to you. That's why in our group, we have this incredible vibe and women that want to build confidence and leadership and grow and empower. Like, that's our vibe. We want to find people like that too, that want to educate themselves to do more, be more, and like live a better life. So we have a niche. And for us, for Carly and myself, we like using Facebook, Instagram, we like YouTube, like we like these platforms. So then we're more drawn to them, and we're more drawn to actually do the work on them to make sure that we're leveraging them to their best ability. And we do paid advertising. So we have our business page, it's Ambition Babes. So we have a business page and we have a Facebook group. On our business page, that's where we can post content, but that's where we can also leverage paid advertising. Find new people, find new markets. We love that. So knowing that these are all possibilities for you, it's just figuring out for yourself, how do I want to advertise? Who do I want to market to? And what platform do I want to leverage? Then figuring out, okay, it's going to be Facebook, it's going to be paid advertising, it's going to be off my page. Now, where do I fall short in that? That it's like, okay, now I don't know how to go from step 1 to step 10. I'm at step 1. How do I get there? Then finding out and sourcing out the relevant information, because we all have to educate ourselves. There isn't just a one-all social media handbook that's like, this is how you become successful online. Like, we have to really do the work to understand our platforms so we can better leverage them. If this is how you want to build a business, you want to transition to an online space, you've got to educate yourself appropriately so that you can then master the platform that you're leveraging.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So it's really easy to be like, oh my gosh, okay, so I need to be on all these sites. And this is what the Ambition Babes recognize as the best platform. So I'm going to get on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and I'm just going to go crazy. You're going to burn yourself out. So you have to really pick one to start with. And once you kind of have, your foundation up, you're getting used to posting and coming up with content, connecting. Like Ali said, we're just now utilizing YouTube. We're not filming YouTube videos. We're just having our assistant repurpose our existing videos. So this video right here, for example, hello YouTube, it'll be seeing your platform very soon. Okay. So we're just repurposing stuff that we already have. And on Instagram, for example, we post a lot of the same content on our Instagram as we do our Facebook, because it's like people think that, oh, well, I can't post the exact same content because my audience is going to see the same thing. What you don't realize is most of the times you're going to have different populations of people still in your niche, in your area, but they're going to be different populations of people on those different platforms. Yes, you are still going to have overlap of some people. That's great. Those are your loyal fans. They don't care if they see something a second time. Maybe they missed it when you posted it on Monday, but now that it's on your Facebook on Wednesday, or you're talking about it, hey, did you miss the go live in our group, on your stories and Instagram? Boom, like they need to hear that, right? So we post very similar content on our Facebook page and our Instagram. And then we do reserve our Facebook group for more interactive posts. We really do pride ourselves on making sure that we show up in our group the most in terms of these live videos. Today, we're actually sharing into our Facebook page and our group, but most of the time we focus a lot of our time in our group. That's where we want to nurture our people as much as possible. We want them to know this is special for them. And then, on our stories, we have it linked up so that our Instagram stories automatically share to our Facebook stories. So we don't have to then go and upload more over there. So we're always repurposing content so that we're not having to reinvent the wheel every day and be like, what am I going to post to the 3 different platforms that I'm most active in? It's like, no, sometimes we just change out a picture or whatever. And, we're able to manage all these other platforms. And when it comes to doing it all ourselves, we realize we can only do so much. So if you're at a point in your business where you don't quite have the time, it might be worth your while to get a virtual assistant. We actually have in the unit section of this private Facebook group, we have a free resource that you can look at how to get a virtual assistant, the steps that are best to take, because it's like a lifesaver, I tell you. Once you can do that, honestly, you can't afford not to do that. Once you're like really cracking it and you want to make it big in business, getting an assistant is huge. Our assistant does amazing work for us, and we're just so blessed to have her. Jade is her name. And so once you get a point in your business, that really is a great thing to invest in. But also, like, scheduling on Facebook, you can schedule in a week, month, doesn't matter, worth of content. Pick a day, a Sunday maybe, and bang it all out. Post it and have it scheduled. You can also download apps that I think, what do we use? Tailwind is what it's called for Instagram. So our assistant actually does that for us. So it's called Tailwind, and she organizes it all and has like a whole month's worth of content so that it posts automatically to our Instagram feed. Because again, you want to be consistent on all your different platforms and having regular content coming out. If you can't post daily, at least be posting 3 to 5 times a week. And really keeping up with your audience. So scheduling apps are really helpful. I think there was another one called Hootsuite I used to use back in the day. So lots of different options for scheduling. On YouTube, you can also schedule things to come out on a dripping content basis. Lots of different things. Also, we like to batch our content. So for many businesses that both Ali and I run, we don't just like every single day write brand new content. We will pick a few days of the week and like bang out, because like certain days you just feel more inspired. And I will often take a whole bunch of pictures or find a whole bunch of quotes, and that'll be it for that content day. And then there'll be another day where I sit and look at pictures and I put content, words behind it. How can I help my audience? How can I educate, entertain, or add value to their lives? And so I'll use those quotes or those pictures, and then I'll go in and edit them and put little captions on the picture, and then I'll go in and schedule it. So you're not every day having to consume yourself with what the heck to post. You've done it on days where you're not feeling stressed. You don't have to run off to work or something. You've picked a day where you can then batch a whole bunch of content. And really, that's what we've found is a huge time saver. So not getting overwhelmed and posting on a whole bunch of different platforms right away. Find something that works, find your groove, then start to expand, and then, repurpose your content. So say if you did a video, say if we did this video, we could then actually make a post maybe on Instagram with a picture of the two of us or whatever, and give our top 5 strategies or something. And that would be a post. Right? If we had a podcast, which we don't, maybe one day, we could turn this into a podcast, right? There's so many different platforms. You can also be generating emails. Every time someone joins our group, they're prompted to add their email in if they want, to be able to keep up to date with different announcements and resources that we provide in our email. We don't go crazy with our email list. We just, send out regular emails if we can. But you do actually own your email list. It's one of the only social things that you do own. Everything else can get shut down, but you own those emails. So at any time, you can send out content. People can unsubscribe, of course. But at the end of the day, an email list is always great to be slowly adding to. And on all those different platforms, you can be collecting emails very strategically.
I was so intently listening. I'm like, wasn't that good? That was great. Honestly, there's so much to cover within this topic. Like it's so vast, and that's why really hearing from you guys, this is just kind of, again, scratching at the surface, just trying to hone in on some ideas for you of what platform works the best for me, where do I want to really dive into, become a master of one versus master of none. Mm-hmm. So it's, instead of I've got to do it all, become really good at one thing. For so we start to walk before we run. It's the same with social media. Really, I would say we mastered Facebook far before we mastered Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And, like, now we're really good at Facebook and we're pretty good at Instagram, and now we're going to be wonderful at YouTube. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to do all 3 at the same time. That would have been way too much. Yeah. So just knowing kind of where you want to master, how you want to create your content, how you want to serve your audience, so that you're coming from a place of like, people like, what is it? Stories sell, facts tell. So people don't want you to come at them and go like, oh my God, don't you want to be not hungover? It's like, not really. Like, whatever, I guess. But like, I guarantee if I did a story about my weekend with the girls or having fun, and I was just plopping in these drops into my drink, I was like, screw my hangover. It's like day 2, we're having so much fun. Woo! And people are like having a great time watching my stories. Like, wow, Ali's having a whooping up weekend. And by the end of it, I was like, oh my God, these saved us. I'm pumped on these hangover tabs. Like, they're so wicked. How many people would reach out to me and say like, well, what are those hangover towns? I'm like, I'm interested. Looks like you were able to party for 3 days without your hangovers. I'm interested. Versus me just every day being like, who hates hangovers? Because like, you should try this product. It just doesn't feel the same way. So coming from a story place versus just facts about the product. I mean, anyone can read off an ingredient list and be like, this is so great. It doesn't come across the same way as if you built it into your story, built it into your life and your brand. So just know that you can represent yourself in your business. It just can come from a much more authentic place to build long-term success. Mm-hmm. Carly and I are all about looking at things from a long-term perspective. A lot of people want to jump into the online space and into social media, and they see other people successful and they're like, I want that laptop lifestyle and digital nomad, and I want to work at home. Don't we all? But it has to come from a place of, I want to build something long-term, so I'm willing to do the work now to put it in for a long time. There isn't just an easy one-off remedy of just check this box, type up this form, and boom, you're a millionaire. It's not the case. So this is about strategies that you can build something for yourself long-term, because we want you guys to be successful in this. And I just think that there's just a lot of potential. But again, hearing from you guys will allow Carly and I to adapt our content. So if you're wanting to really learn about niche marketing, we can talk all day about niche marketing. We don't have the time today, but we can talk about niche marketing, finding your perfect audience, you know, how to set things up further. We want to talk to you guys about that. So just let us know too in the comments. We haven't covered something today. We can do part 2, part 3, part whatever, to make sure that we really get this message out to you guys so that you can really leverage any social media platform that you want.
Yes, awesome. And actually, I think it was Jessica. Jessica is going to watch the replay. She just posted in there, but I think it was her that said that she wants to chat about your ideal customer. So that's definitely something that we can come back to as well, because that's a huge piece of it. And one other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of stories quickly is it can also be, you know, testimonials, people that have used your product or maybe used your service, maybe they took your course or whatever, and sharing those types of testimonials is really powerful, because it gives the audience a sense like, oh, it worked for her, maybe it'll work for me too, because they're telling their story. And the more social proof that you can have around your product or your service, people are then going to start to trust you, like, oh, it's not just her that thinks it's amazing, it's a lot of other people too. So that's a really good thing, is always looking for opportunities to get testimonials, asking people that you work with, hey, like, do you mind if I screenshot this and share it on my Instagram? Or hey, would you mind giving me a quick 1-minute testimonial video that I can share? Ali and I are always doing that, where we're looking for, you know, people who have enjoyed working with us or our courses, and we just love hearing the feedback, because that is huge for us. Not only does it help us grow and learn to define what we can do better, but also it shows other people like, wow, their courses really worked well for other people. Maybe I should give it a shot, right? So it's all about, you know, creating that story, whether it's yours or people that you've worked with, capturing that story. And one thing that we also do to create, you know, connection with our audience, adding value, you'll see that many of our posts in this group and on this page, for example, it's a lot of like how-to stuff. So we don't just post like, have an amazing day and think positive. It's like, here's 5 steps to help you have a better day and think positive. And often we'll get those ideas from articles that we've read. We'll like research out like top 5 confidence tips or top 5 this. So you guys, content is at your fingertips. You just have to do some research, do some digging, dig into your story, and do a little bit more work than just like posting up a quote or posting a selfie. Those are all great, but you're not going to really create that connection and value with your audience if you don't take the time to really dive into some of those areas that could really help your audience. So just a couple of tidbits. We literally scratched the surface with social media strategies. I said it was going to be quick. Here we are, 40 minutes later.
Gotta go.
I know, right? Okay, so we will be back with a part 2, part 3, who knows? But yes, again, let us know your struggles or an area that you're really fascinated with. We'd love to come back and chat with you guys. Please let us know if you're watching the replay. And yeah, you can also drop any handles, Facebook pages, websites, Instagram. We love when you guys share, you know, where we can find you and where other people can follow each other. We want you guys to connect even outside of these groups. So please drop them in the comments, and we'll go and follow you as well.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.